Hello, this is Yvonne Minier, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to create a quick Easter egg design using my EQ Stitch program. I've opened my EQ Stitch and I've named a project file called Easter Egg Design. So I'm on my work table. I'm on the Stitch work table at this point in time. I'm going to start with a design that is for applique. So I've set it up for applique, and I have a tab at the bottom that allows me to add fabric. I'm going to click on a oval drawing tool, select the teardrop shape, and just click, hold, drag, and release to get a basic shape. I'm going to edit the shape by using my shape tool. By clicking on the edit nodes, I can change the shape of the design very quickly. And this is a great way to create designs because in our program here we do need to have an enclosed shape in order to add our applique fabrics, and rather than drawing a shape, I just use the enclosed shape that's built into the program. So there's my Easter egg shape. I can click on the fabric tab, select a fabric from the palette, click once to apply that fabric to the palette. The palette to the design, and then click on the Stitch tab, and the program automatically adds all the steps that I need to create this as an applique background. Now I can edit this in any way that I want. I can change it from a zigzag stitch to an E-stitch. I'm just going to leave it as a zigzag stitch. It's set to a 3mm width, which is fine for me. So all I'm going to do at this point is color it. So I'm going to pick a color for my thread that matches my egg. So there's my applique shape that's just plain, and I'm going to add that to the sketchbook. When I go back to my artwork tab, I can add some details inside here very easily. One of the things I can do is use the libraries that are built in. In the block libraries, there's a section called motifs and butterflies. And I'm just going to grab this butterfly here to start with, and I'm going to add it to my sketchbook. And then I'm going to close my sketchbook. So when I open my sketchbook, under the blocks, under motifs, there's a design ready for me to work with. I'm going to edit that for a moment. It's reminding me to save my work table, so I will do that. Now this opens up not on the Stitch work table, but on the block work table, because that is where it was created. And that's fine. I'm just going to select a couple elements here. I'm going to get rid of the antenna. I'm going to reshape the head just a little bit with the shape tool. I want it to be just a little wider, a little more pronounced, maybe a little bit taller, just a little bit more definition. And I am going to take the wings and I'm going to move them up just slightly. I want them to fall inside the middle part of the body in here. I didn't want it hanging down here. So that looks good enough for now. Now I need to take the whole thing and put it on my Stitch work table. So I'm going to do Edit, Select All, Edit, Copy. I go back to the Stitch work table. There's my Easter egg that I already drew. I'm going to do a right click and a paste. It's way too big, so I'm going to go to a corner handle and just slide it down within the shape of the Easter egg, and it's still a bit too big for me. There, that's better. I'm going to make some copies of this. While it's selected, I'm just going to duplicate it, move it over here, make it a little bit smaller, and flip it to go the other direction. And I'm going to clone that one, put it over here, and I'm going to flip it going the other way. And then I'm going to clone one more time, put it up here, flip it the other way. Now I want to add just a little more interest to this, so I'm going to rotate this a little bit. So I am going to go up here to the rotation, and I'm going to say rotate it 10 degrees. And I'm going to select this one down here. Oops. That's not what I want. There, that's an easier way. Select that. And I'm going to rotate that one maybe 2 degrees. And then I'm going to click on this one over here, select this one. I'm trying to select just the butterfly and nothing else. And I'm going to rotate that maybe 2 degrees also and apply that. It's just so they're not flying exactly in the same direction. I want to make sure I select the whole thing. There we go. There. So now I've got this design here where it's got little butterflies on it. On the fabric tab, I can see that I've got my applique applied in the background. I don't want to make these an applique. I want to make these an embroidery stitch. So I'm going to go to the Stitch tab. Now, because I'm on the applique work table, it thinks that I'm automatically going to make these butterflies appliques, and it adds the applique edge. I don't want that. They're too small for an applique. So I am simply going to add some fill stitches first, just by clicking on a stitch style and adding it to each of the elements. And then I'm going to click on the edge stitch, and I don't want edge stitches. I simply want this to be the embroidery fill stitches and nothing more. So I'm just removing them quickly. Then I can go to my paintbrush tool. I can put the colors that I want for each of the elements. And I can make my butterflies different colors. So when I go to the embroidery machine, I can create this design in the hoop, the applique, and the embroidered elements. And I can just add that to the sketchbook. Now, if I don't want an applique, say I want a red work design and I want it to be just like this, I don't have to redraw everything. I can go back to my artwork tab. I can say edit, select all, edit, copy. Now I'm going to go to the embroidery work table, so I'll go stitching, new design, embroidery. You'll see there's no fabric tab down here, so there's no opportunity for this to be a applique. I'm going to right click, paste, and center. I have not had to redraw the whole thing. I go to my stitch tab. I had this set up so that it would be a bean stitch already. It's ready to go. I click on the paintbrush tool. I'm going to make it red. I'm going to click on the spray can, click once, and the whole thing is now a red work design, and I can add that to the workbook also. So when I look at my sketchbook, I open the sketchbook, I go to my stitchings, there's my red work embroidery design, and there is my applique design right there. I saved it once as just a simple applique. I saved it a second time as an embroidered stitch design. So that's just a quick and easy lesson on how you can use the EQ-Stitch auto digitizing program to create different shapes for your Easter egg designs. I hope you have enjoyed this simple tutorial.